Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Welcome to your January 2022 readings and happy New Year. I'm taking a deep breath right now. I just want to say I will be doing my normal format. I had actually done the first 6 signs from Aries to, I believe it was Virgo, straight out the gate, right? First day or so of New Year's. And I had said in each and every one of those videos, if you had a chance to watch them, or those are one of your particular signs, or cross-watching, whatever it may be, moon, sun, Venus, or ascendant, I just want to say that I said I will be doing a January reading, but not a mid-month January reading. And then I'll be back in February. And, well, it's January 12th, and now I'm actually completing the remainder of the signs because, as it would be, we are having a Venus retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. The new moon was on the 2nd of January, straight up, first thing. New moons are so incredibly powerful when it comes to intentions and ideas, and regardless of the retrograde, it definitely still gives us the momentum and ideas and inspirations and intentions that we want, even if it doesn't happen this month, which could very well happen, but it will have to have changes. And then we do have the Mercury retrograde happening in 2 days, so the shadow period's already been there. I feel every bit of this and then some. And it has affected my work. It's affected my rescheduling and delays, and definitely communication, and that's exactly what it's about. So I'm going to finish these, and I'm going to come back in February. But I do want to say, whenever you watch this is going to be fine, because we're all feeling the energies, and this retrograde is exactly that. When it's about the outer planet Venus, which is such a beautiful, feminine, loving, magical, relationship, love of all forms, as with my love connection aspects and readings that I do. It's just being more introspective now and understanding so deeply and honestly with ourselves, what's our value? What do we want? What kind of relationships do we really want? And what do we want to stop coming back to and inviting into our energy? Those are questions that come up probably throughout your lifetime, I would imagine. But this is a very potent time to really get it right, okay? Because the other aspect is we are having in the last part of the month, now that I'm here still, we have, like I said, the Mercury, and that's the mind. It's going to be in the sign of Aquarius. So any air signs are going to probably feel it more. Certainly Mercury ruled signs like Gemini and Virgo, the air signs being Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And then everyone else too. So slow down, setbacks, revisiting, rescheduling, relaxing, retreating if you possibly can. Because, they're going to be, like I said, delays and postponements. And you don't want to get upset about that. You want to take that in as being a time that you need to just sit and think and kind of review and go over things that are important to you for when the retrograde is no longer happening. And that powerful energy is coming mid to latter part, certainly by the beginning of the week of March. Everything's going to be straightforward. All the energies are there. It'll be almost spring. The time will be, our days are getting longer. It's phenomenal. So keep that in mind. If you ever get a little bit aggravated or annoyed, it's always in our best good and our best interest. So today's beautiful featured sign, as I read for every sign, is the wonderful Jupiter-ruled sign and optimistic, fiery, spirited, freedom-seeking, truth-seeking, usually very, very candid, very, very authentically truthful, and sign of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, it's interesting, Jupiter, your ruling planet, did go into the sign of Pisces on the 29th of December. Jupiter is so incredibly comfortable in both your sign, of course, and in Pisces. And then we have Neptune in the sign of Pisces for many years and will be continuing there. The slower moving planets on the outer part of, as you look up in the sky or whatever, they take longer to go from sign to sign. The fact that Jupiter is in the sign of, I just lost my voice completely. Wow. Okay. The fact that Jupiter, I'll try again, is in the sign of Pisces is all about the deepest, most full, sincere love, compassion, selfless giving, you know, I mean, the crazy, crazy romantic energy that can come through. It is about incredible creativity. Neptune is fantasy, imagination, daydreams, night dreams, psychic, intuitive hits, signals, signs, serendipitous meetings. It's phenomenal for all of us. If you have any water signs, you're going to feel it more so than the elements that are not water. If you have any placements whatsoever in Pisces, it's your time, okay? And it only happens every 12 years. So as I've said before, that means if you live to 96, it's going to visit your particular sign. And it could be moon placement, you know, Venus or anything else. It doesn't have to always be sun or rising, but rising tends to be the one that really hits home. And I have a rising in Pisces, so I'm just saying thank you so much. And it seems to supersede in a lot of ways, even the retrograde. I'm just saying it has hierarchy. And it's beautiful, and there's going to be some amazing things. Now, it'll be in Pisces through May 10th, and then it goes into Aries. We'll talk all about that later. But this love, this compassion, I think a lot of us are going to be more heart-centered, and we're going to think, what's going on? A lot of water signs are used to that. They gravitate towards that. That's all they know is feelings, and they're reactive, and they're sensitive and moody sometimes, and Pisces is no exception. They're the duality, the two fish. They're the mutable sign, you know, as is Sagittarius. So the two of you kind of just like are open to changing and evolving and growing, and you know, you believe, you have great faith and trust, and that optimism is very contagious and beautiful to be around. It's creativity, if I haven't said that. It's healing. It's healing of all things. It could be money. I mean, with Venus, it's about money, magic, love, and all that. So money is a big thing. It's a big value system in this third dimensional world we live in. And it's important. And of course, with Capricorn, Venus being in Capricorn, Capricorn is a cardinal sign that's very, very, very structured, Saturn ruled. So they will confine themselves to stay focused and to be on track and to be, you know, very, very studious and ahead of their game as opposed to anyone else as far as hard work and patience. I mean, I love being around earth signs in general that have this ability to be so patient and know, listen, I'm going to plant the seed. Maybe I'll plant 2, 3, 10, who knows? And I'm going to wait, because every day I water that and nurture it and believe and see it and visualize it and feel it is that much closer to its tangible, actual reality. And the calm in the storm, the loyalty is unparalleled. So it's beautiful. Even if we have these delays and waits and whatnot, Venus is Venus. It's still going to give you some beautiful stuff and conversations and very important things that happen in your relationship. So Sagittarius, you're no exception. As much as you love your freedom, when you're committed, you are committed. You are, I know a lot of Sagittariuses, and you are fired up and passionate and fun, and just, you love as well. I think a lot of it bases itself, the foundation with a lot of Sagittarians starts out as friendship, which I feel tends to last longer, because you're not always thinking that sexual, sensual thing is going to be the most important priority. I know it seems like it in a lot of times in our life. I can concur to that, but at some point when that's not happening as much, it's a richer, more deeper connection. And so let's pick the spirited connection for you that Spirit wants you to know about right in front of you, as I always do. This is another person or sign or energy that's going to be particularly important for you. And I'm going to just say during January, because like I said, the energies are basically the same except for the new moon in Capricorn and then the full moon on the 17th in Cancer, which is very, very sensitive again, and very, very receptive and intuitive and powerful. And in tune with, you know, the energy around them, you know, what's happening, and they feel it and they sense it. And Cancer is ruled by the moon. So clarity on a lot of things that have to do with what matters to you so much on an emotional level. It's the gamut. It could be so many things. So for you, beautiful, beautiful, fun, exciting, fiery energy of Sagittarius. Oops, it went right off there. It was going to go in Gemini. Let's see if that happens again. What do you think, Spirit? What do you have in mind for Sagittarius? Scorpio. Okay. Not the first time I've gotten Scorpio as a highlighted, or not a highlighted, but yeah, highlighted, because you're the feature. The highlight, it's right next to you. There's always this kind of symbiotic synergy happening between you anyway. And we're talking depth in transformational aspects for yourself, for those around you. Like this, you're pointing that arrow, half man, half horse, you know, symbolism of a Sagittarius, and you've got an arrow. And when you point that arrow, it's your dream, it's your wish, it's your desires, and you do not until that happens, and whatever it is you're wanting to occur or conquer and so forth. There's almost a perfect symbiotic kind of energy in the depth of the transformation that can happen with a Scorpio. They are so intense and so very, very fixed sign that is structured and very set on their goals. They are very interested in listening to their intuition and their guidance, and that's happening hugely for, like I said, all water signs. And that can also kind of just naturally fall off onto you, and you're getting this just knowing of each other and this combination that's so important. Not to mention the new seasons of eclipses, which we got half of last November on the 19th, was the Taurus, and then the last one in your series of Gemini and Sagittarius was in your sign for the solar eclipse on December 4th. So now it's changing the nodes, as they call it, north and south, and it's going to be the north node and the eclipses in Taurus, and the south and eclipse in Scorpio. So more will be talked about that too. We'll start to feel that, I want to say mid-March for May and July. So June, I believe it is. Please don't quote me. Still studying every day, you know, and keeping it real. So, but this is gorgeous, and it's sensual. Oh my gosh, it's so sensual and sexual. There's fire and there's passion, and there's, you know, there's that intensity with fire and water, because it's fire gets to water and it's steamy and it's boiling, and you know, you don't want to overdo it, and you don't want that water to put out the fire. So there's that really importance of that temperance, which is what a card that represents you, Sagittarius. So I like this, and there, if it's not somebody you know, it could be somebody coming back in this Venus/Mercury retrograde you haven't thought about. You could also have a lot of Scorpio in your personal chart, which you can always look up for free, and I highly recommend you do, because there's so much levels to all of us. There are so many levels to all of us. Let me read your 4 major categories for this highlighted connection, and every one of your connections of love, whatever they may be, all inclusive: romance, friends, family, pets, animals, jobs, self, for heaven's sake, self, yes. So I'll explain it as I go along. I am using this beautiful new deck that I love so much. It's called the Light Seers Tarot, and it's one that I'd seen quite a bit online with some of my favorite tarot readers, but I'm so happy to have it. So yes, I like to switch up the decks as well. And then I have a brand new oracle that I will be reading as a final message for you. So first and foremost, the overall energy bringing you to this reading for January, the whole month, is, oh yeah, 5 of Wands. There you are. Now, I love this depiction because it's a fiery energy, right? It's you, it's Leo, it's Aries. And Aries starts our, you know, cardinal energy of spring, new leadership. Actually, Aries represents the beginning of the astrology year in March, not January. So, you know, it's really kind of wonderful too. And as I said, Jupiter will be going into Aries, but we'll get back to that. Point in case is, I love this depiction because it shows there's energy and momentum and spirited kind of collaboration with this one. And here you are at the top, I would imagine. You are leading the brigade. You've got that fiery, you know, I can't tell if it's, I don't know, your hand is reaching up to it because you want to be a part of that. That's what makes you thrive. That total fiery, passionate side of you. And so you can see everybody, with an exception maybe of this person, nope, we're all trying to help each other the best they can, not really looking so much, but it's an integral part, like we all are in this world. We're all connected. We're the web, the wide, wide web, not just, you know, because of internet. And the ripples are always going out, and what we send out does come back. And this year is absolutely perfect for that kind of representation, meaning we're going to have to continue to put our heart and soul and our energy physically, mentally, and so forth to get to a better place, which of course we're getting to, even when it doesn't appear to be. But I can promise you, I really am going to promise you, that it may take a while, of course, and nothing happens overnight. It's important to put that into perspective. But we're on the 6th year, which is a far more balanced sense, and it also represents the sign of Venus, or the energy of Venus. It's just about absolute love and compassion and trust and connection. A lot more connection, not feeling so much like you're alone, not feeling like you have to be a recluse like I have for quite some time, with a very couple of exceptions. But how wonderful, okay? So, no, it's not about all controversy, but it's about work. It's about making things happen. You're going to have to do that. It's not going to come to you, but you know, when you put your energy and your trust and your belief systems into anything with the physical, that's exactly how things happen. So I like that right off the bat. The second card is going to be under the category of possible blessings or obstacles. And for you, beautiful Sagittarius, and certainly Scorpio, as you're highlighted. And like I said, I really feel like the whole eclipse change now, the need for all of us to be transforming and, you know, merging and changing a lot of the things and patterns that we've had. It was kind of forced on us in a way, but I think a lot of us are saying, you know what, I kind of actually prefer that in some cases. Speaking up, speaking out, standing up for yourself, feeling strong in that conviction, you know, empowerment, that third chakra, which is, you know, your solar plexus. That's the power, the yellow, the vibrancy of all of us. Possible blessings or obstacles, 3 of Cups. That doesn't ever seem like an obstacle to me, with a couple of exceptions. But I said it's a blessing or an obstacle. So the only thing is that maybe this is about a celebratory type of energy. This is about allowing that camaraderie, I said, being with your best friends, being with those you love dearly, a little more than before, but still being safe and careful. Excuse me. Also, it's about, you know, some kind of gathering, some celebration. I mean, listen, Sagittarius, you know everybody in every sign. You're friends with everybody. You don't judge people. You don't care about their race, their culture, their creed, anything. You accept it all. That's the only kind of Sagittarius I've ever met. Of course, there's the higher energy and the shadowy part. So, I mean, I'm keeping this real as much as possible, but I'm also being optimistic because that's what I believe in the very core of all of us we want. And it's just individual if it's otherwise, okay? So overall, there's this beautiful, mutable aspect of accepting and not having any boundaries, but maybe needing to set some at times. But there's friendships, and there's possibly a little more celebratory drinking than necessary. So that would be the obstacle, to just make sure that you're really caring for yourself, because I know you do want to, but, you know, when you're around other people, we do things sometimes we regret later, and we don't want any regrets. This is not going to be that year, okay? And so being aware, but having fun and keeping it real and keeping it temperate, like your beautiful sign and the card in the tarot represents you, okay? Inwardly and outwardly, for the betterment of everybody involved, because health is important. You and I, we all know that. When you work too hard, or you put too much out there energy-wise, it's going to creep up on you, and you don't want that. So just make sure when you're having a good time and you're keeping it, it's more of a, you know, balancing aspect, and it's just fun. It's heart-centered, and that's what I'm seeing. These are, you know, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio elements of water, and right now with Jupiter, it can be incredible new friendships, expansion on that. You know, family, it doesn't matter what type, but I absolutely love that. So It's like everybody's looking out saying, yeah, we made it, man. We are here, and we're going to continue to celebrate that, if nothing else, and way more. And looking up in the stars and saying, that's right. I'm going to think bigger than I've ever thought before. And ask, put out those, if you were able to, you want to always put out the intentions on a new moon, but we get them every month. So I'm not remembering right now when the new moon is in February, but I'll be talking about it first thing, okay? What I do remember hearing is that we have am I right about this? 2 new moons this month. That's right. So we don't actually have one in February. The second new moon is going to be, I believe it's going to be in the sign of Pisces. I'm almost positive. Please don't quote me on that. No, I'm mistaken about that. It's Aquarius. And it's going to be on the 31st. So I will have talked about that, but that's another reason to absolutely put forth these incredible dreams and don't let go of them, okay? Because I had an incredible dream that I wanted so much in the last 7-8 months, waiting on it. And then last week I said, please, higher power, please give me the answer. And I got it. And no, it's not happening. So I was like, okay. That hurt. It absolutely hurt. And it didn't hurt that long because I also asked that this particular dream and collaboration I wanted so very much was only going to happen if it was for the highest good. And clearly it's not. And trust me, I know it sounds like you probably want to hurt me when you hear these things. Please don't. But it's always a protective aspect of us. There's something else better. And I'm going to sit here and believe that. So my pain and my little bit of, pain is gone. I found out on Monday and it's Wednesday, so because I know better now. But it's not to say we don't get hurt. So if that happens, just allow it and then move forward, okay? But don't get it could come in a whole different way, and better. So just believe in that. The third category is the financial category. This is the second time, I want to say even yesterday's was this. What a beautiful placement. You've seen me shuffling the whole time. This is finances, but it's wealth. And wealth is about whatever it is to you. It certainly can be money, and it matters, and, we need it to survive. And, of course, in Capricorn season, it's about very, very consciously investing and recognizing the value of time. Saturn is known as the god of time. And everything, even though it's man-made, like our clocks, but cycles and patterns and, our lifetime, it's all based on timing and time in its own way. So, Ace of Cups, wow. Beginnings, new beginnings, transformations, the heart, the Pisces, your highlighted connection with Scorpio. Really opening up and being more vulnerable maybe than you've been. Maybe making that commitment. Who knows? Talking it out, discussing it with people you fully trust. What do you think if you need to? But listen to your own gut. Listen to your own intuition, because all of us are going to have way more very interesting epiphanies and clearly an opportunity to feel how more intuitive and psychic we really are. That is such a beautiful gift to me, and this is gorgeous for you. Open your heart, and when you allow that love to flow, which I know you do it even more, and everything comes back exactly as it needs to. And I absolutely love that. So financially, I think things are really going to be extremely good for many of us this year. But you've got that same Jupiter energy, so don't be surprised if things coming out of the blue, okay? Because at the end of the month, we do go into the sign of Aquarius season. And Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. And one of the main, planets and signs is Taurus, as far as our eclipses that change our life rapidly, quickly, in and out, life-altering changes for the better, right? We're always going to focus on being the better. And that's in Taurus. And Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus since, I think, 2018, and will be there for a couple, 3, 4 more years. So unexpected. Like you can be going this way and you find out this out of the blue, a call, you know, because you were in the right place at the right time, which is that beautiful Jupiterian kind of energy of magic and luck and crazy, wonderful things. Miracles, quite frankly. So I love that for you, Sagittarius. What is it? What is that to you? You know, this is general. You're your own person. We all have different dreams and desires, all similar, but it's for you, and it's going to happen, and it's fabulous, but it's because you're really fully utilizing your heart this year, more than before, you know, and if nothing else for yourself, and loving yourself, and believing in yourself. So then we have the last, which is the surprises or wishes category, and you have the Seven of Wands. I love this depiction too. I think it may have come up once or so during my readings, but look at this. There you are, the wands, and you're above, and you're just like in this very relaxed, like, I'm going to let it come in. That's what the retrogrades are about. Receiving, because it's very internalizing. You don't have to push. You could, you know, come up with obstacles if you're doing that anyway. So why, you know? Take those staycays. Get away on the weekends, you know, when you get a chance. If you can't go far away, plan your vacation, because I know how you are, Sagittarius. You love to travel. Sit down and make this be the month that you do that, you know, and it'll be way after any kind of retrograde. Or, you know, we have 2, I think 3 more this year, but the last one's shorter. It's all good. Just kind of think about those times and plan around that if possible. Or actually, they say sometimes if you're willing to accept a cancellation on your flight and all that, go on vacation, because a lot of other things in your life would have changed anyway. But this is you knowing and being very, very strong, of course, as a fire sign, but just standing and sticking to your beliefs, defending everything you have with all your might. Not that you want to defend all the time, because you don't really need to. People are looking at you and saying, oh, you kind of appear to me to have a feeling and an understanding of really what it is you want. So you don't really have to be in a place of animosity or, you know, strong, you know, ire, like, oh, it's got to be this way. No, it's not about that at all. You are doing what you feel is right, and you know it, and that's all that really, really matters. And I know you to know that you are somebody that cares about other people anyway. So there you are in your own beautiful, blissful. And I think you've wanted, I think last year and a couple years before, I've been like, okay, we can get through this, and you know that. But come on now. I'm ready to make it be a little more peaceful, while standing up for what I need to do and feeling strong and vindicated. So I like this reading. I've liked all of the readings, and I really appreciate the way that it came in with the Five of Wands, and how there is this definite understanding that, you know, we do have to deal with other people a lot of times in our life. You know, that is out of our control a lot of times. Not always, but in a lot of ways it is. And having a whole different perception, which is another thing about, you know, Pisces, is being able to see a different way, you know, the hangman, being at peace with kind of just stopping and listening for the sign, listening for the guidance, but also seeing, oh, I never saw it that way before, and allowing a different approach, a different way to work with, as opposed to against other people, even if they have a different set of values, or, you know, they see things differently. All the better. You know, that's what it really is about, and what the beauty of life is about, is our differences and accepting that. So excellent. You know, you've got that, the Three of Cups, which is beautiful, the Ace of Cups, whoo, and the 7, man, power, and just like, yes, we've got this. I'm not giving up. I'm okay. I'm good. And I'm going to finish with, like I said, the beautiful new Oracle deck, which is called the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle Cards. And it has a special message for you and a question to ask yourself, and just yourself. You know, you don't have to necessarily share it, but you can. I always like to know what you're thinking, what's happening, if there's a resonance with these readings. If you have not had a chance to subscribe, which really just means follow, you won't get any, you know, emails, and you don't have to pay anything. I would love it, and it would mean a lot. Actually, this year I want to really up the ante and level up and start expanding this channel and doing personal readings, okay? That's what I'm hoping to be able to start in February. Knock on wood. I don't think it's all that complex, and so it's about making that happen. So either way, thank you for being here. Thank you for any support you give me. And being here is enough, but you can share it with others. You can like I said, all ways to definitely support me. I appreciate it all. So your final message, beautiful Sagittarius, is, I just got this 2 readings ago, but I absolutely love it. You are the joy seeker. It's true. That's the kind of energy you really put off. You're very, very many times. I know there's exceptions to every rule, and we all have our days, but you are a light and a bright beam that people are just like, ooh, you're fun. You're fun, man. You really, you just shrug off things that are not great for a certain amount. You go, okay, now what? Let's just focus on what we want. Let's not get stuck in the mire of things. And the question is, what little victories can you celebrate? Because I know a lot of us have had things taken away and things have stopped, and it's been a lot of transformation up to this point already. And we all understand, and I would never belittle any of that. But you've also, if you're watching this, you're here, and you have accomplished so much in that. And I know you appreciate it, and I know you're blessed, and you know that. So just recognizing, just getting up and smiling at your neighbor, and taking some really deep breaths and allowing time for you and those that you love and whatnot. It's a victory. It really is. So it's a question you can ask yourself through the month and feel good about the answer. It's also number 4, and 4 is about stability and foundation, and having that be nice and strong, and that's definitely Capricorn energy, the practical, the grounded, deep sensual energy of Capricorn. So absolutely love that, but I'll read just a little bit more for you for number 4, and I've read it once before, but I certainly hadn't memorized it. So where are we here now? Forgive me. Here we go. Oops, sooner than I thought. Okay, so number 4. You are the joy seeker. Your life is a masterpiece and a day-by-day adventure, and you have the power to access joy no matter what you are going through. Every day may not be great, but when you celebrate the little victories, you will see the great things within each day. Infinite miracles happen every moment, but we are often too overwhelmed and busy to see them. You may be focusing more on the struggles and what isn't working well. You are being called to be more mindful of the blessings that occur all the time. For there is a grand opportunity for a joy both within you and around you. And that's sort of what this is saying right off the bat, isn't it? Finding that joy in collaborating and working with others, and having that teamwork and inspiring. That's you at the top. You're basically, people that people look up to. And then, of course, 7 of Wands, you're on the top. They're like, what now, folks? What do we do, Sag? You got this, right? And just kind of being an example, I guess, is the simplest way to put that. But I love it. And I love and appreciate you. And I honestly want you to have a very happy January. And, of course, an extremely happy New Year, which I feel like a lot of us are going to look back and say, oh, thank you. We've waited for this, and it's just a stepping stone into the next and the next that'll just continually graduate. Whenever you're down, the only way is up, right? So in closing, thank you again. Take great care of your, I'll try that again. Take great care of yourselves. And I'll be back in February, okay? Thanks a lot, and bye for now.